What'd you just say?
I'm be like Uncle V.
Huh?
I'm be like Uncle V.
Why you want to be like me?
Cause he do all spoken word.
You did spoken word on my last CD. Brendan. You did spoken word on my last CD, right?
Yeah.
He reminds me of how I used to be. Cause as I listen to the recollection of his day's experiences, I realize his perception is how I used to see. Free. Not worried about the troubles of the world and caring even less about what others think of me. His responsibility is making sure his room is clean. While I'm cleaning house, trying to figure out who is going to remain true to me. All he has to do is open his mouth under the words Uncle V and he gets through to me. He speaks my language fluently, and I admire his innocence. His ability to believe that people's intentions are never mean and candy dropped in dirt somehow is magically clean when it's rinsed. And that a backyard is somehow safe from the horrors of the world when it's fenced. And that somehow if you squint, you can actually see through the fog when it's dense. But as you get along in age and find your way, that perspective is now seen as naivete in a sense. Because sometimes people's intentions are mean, and you have to glean when they tell you they love you if it's meant. A lot of things we say have become cliche, and every condolence isn't genuine when it's sent. And confidence, don't even get me started on that. See, confidence is too often mistaken as conceit. And I envy that he can say that I'm the best and oftentimes is encouraged to be. But if those same words are uttered from his Uncle V, I've got someone feeling as if they need to try to humble me. Lift me up when in my presence, but when I leave, they want to stumble me. So while I try to convince my nephew that I will never desert him, I'm rolling around in the desert as if I'm tumbleweed. Yet I'm still going to instill in him that he's the best, and anyone who wants him to believe otherwise has to come through me. You see,
my granddaddy, or my mother's daddy, he believed in independence is what you put, and he was independent. He was independent and arrogant. But he believed in independence. And so I guess that's where we got it from.
You see, my granddaddy, my mother's daddy, proclaimed himself to be independent and arrogant. So if I wasn't that way and he was alive today, he would sit me down and ask me where it went. See, this ability is heaven sent. And as for this so-called arrogance, blame him, because he is where I got it from. And despite him dropping out of school after the 9th grade, he would never let a man even think to call him dumb. And for fun, instead of talk, he taught my mother to play Scrabble. And even with that limited education, he often won. Had to work in the sewage plant every day to take care of his family, but best believe, he got it done. And I ain't got no son, but right now my nephew is the closest thing to it. So I will gladly allow the world to treat me badly in order for him not to go through it. Tell him that he is the greatest, and that he should never think any lesser. And whether he wants to be a police chief or a hairdresser, I will encourage him to pursue it. Prepare him for what lies ahead, because some of the best should have been supported before they were dead, but instead, they were persecuted. Let him know that regardless of the situation at hand, our grandfather's attitude, he should exude it. And when I say it, he excitedly looks at me as if he already knew it. But what he doesn't know is that he inspires me. Because I know that he'll be smiling and laughing every minute of every day. Genuinely loves those around him and finds it seemingly easy just to say, hug and kiss his dad and his brothers among others and tell them he loves them and doesn't worry if people think he's gay. Throwing caution to the wind, making friends, saying, Uncle V, it's easy. Just ask them if they want to play. If he only knew how I wish I could do things his way. But instead he said when he gets older he wants to be like me. Wants to do the things I've done, be the man I am, whatever that might be. Said he wants to do spoken word and that he's been writing and I find that exciting. Because it is he that has helped me in writing this piece, and because of him I don't think I will ever stop it. It wasn't part of the plan, but he kept my heart in his hand and keeps it safe when he carries it in his pocket. And each time that we speak and I'm trying to teach, he looks at me as if to say he already got it. So thanks for showing me who I used to be and loving me for who I choose to be. I love you, Brendan. Signed, Uncle V Hockett.